This is Operations Officer Windfall, codename Windfall. Real name, none of your goddamn business. So anyway, I've been working for the CIA for about 3 years now. Yeah, 3 years, a little over 3 years. Anyway, I've learned a lot of things I found disturbing. A lot of things I found disturbing. Things I never knew. Things I probably knew but repressed. So, one thing that I discovered is that World War III, now you have like World War I on Earth, that is, we're talking about Earth, planet Earth. World War I and the modern era began, and then I think it began in 1918, I think. Anyway, and then World War II began actually began in 1939, I think. Anyway, and now World War III. And when did World War III begin? On January 21st, 2011. Right. 1/21/11. That's when World War III began. And the fighting has been, well, severe. Millions are dead as on account of the conflict. There are frequent detonations of nuclear weapons that destroy great sections of cities and countries. The devastation is severe. Lots of refugees. The conflict in China is, well, I just wouldn't want to be in China right now. I'm in the United States. But millions are dead. Millions are dead. Killed in the war. Anyway. But the thing is, though, the leaders of these various nations and organizations and leaders of these various armies are keeping a lid on the actual news that the war has begun. There's no television coverage of it. There's no, of a war. There's no news of a war. War is the news of the war is repressed, completely, utterly stomped out. There's no one can mention that the Third World War began in 2011. I saw the first missile launch. I saw it. I saw the missile lift off. I don't know what the target was, but I saw it lift off. I think the target was Washington, D.C., but it was intercepted by, the anti-ballistic missile system the U.S. has in place. But some missiles get through, and they're armed with, thermonuclear weapons. The life goes on. How does life go on? Well, life persists because it has to. It has to. It has to persist. It was said somewhere in the early 50s, I think, that in the event of a global thermonuclear war, that the only thing ultimately that would survive such a war would be cockroaches. Yeah, that may be true. That may be true. We'll have to see how this war plays out. Anyway. Anyway, I'm in Seattle, Washington. One of the few places that haven't been directly touched by the war. Directly. Indirectly it has been. There's a lot of people that work for well, various factions in Seattle and around, and they try to do mischief. And they do. They want to kill people. They want to shoot people. They want to bomb things. They want to destroy things. Which we in the United States and thereabouts are trying to maintain a sense of normalcy in a very abnormal environment. Like, alright, I looked up lice on the internet. The internet still functions. That's one of the few things that they make sure still stays fired up. But one thing about lice is that it affects homeless people, poor people, having little or no resources, refugees, and soldiers. I'm all of those. I'm all of those. And I'm also an operations officer with the Central Intelligence Agency of the United States of America. I'm really good at my job. You know why? Because I connect to, I don't know, I guess you'd call it the archive. I sometimes refer to it as a library. Through terminals that are given to me to access. I have a terminal not too far from where I stay. I have another terminal. I call my terminal Traveler because it travels. I also call my spaceship Traveler. And in a way, it works out fine. I can't use my spaceship yet because if I left this planet, well, the planet would not survive. And my boss says it has to survive. The planet itself, the structure of the planet is unstable because of the frequent thermonuclear blasts. They're covered up. They're made they're made to appear as earthquakes, frequent earthquakes. But they're not. They're explosions. And those that die in the quote unquote earthquake or tsunami or hurricane, that's not actually the case. They're dying as a consequence of fighting. Yeah, I'm dying. The thing is, though, the true culprits in all this. Well, I'm one of the culprits. I mean, I started World War I, mostly because we needed the technology to have in place when we needed it during World War II and thereafter. I'm not proud of the fact that I started World War I. I mean, all the people who died. In a way, I'm indirectly responsible for the Holocaust. You know, where 6 million Jews were slaughtered by Hitler. I talked to Hitler back in 1921. I had to. It was my job. It was my assignment. Anyway, my people were called Time Lords, also called the Blue Wolf Tribe, told me to do that. I had to get Hitler to mount up and take control of Germany, start the war, and which would lead to other things. I had to tell Hitler that he needed to go out there and drum up support. And it was 1921. I met him in a beer hall, and I had a friend with me. My friend is unique. My friend is I don't know. You can describe my friend as the Holy Spirit, or you can describe her as Mother Mary. But I just call her Pearl. Her name is Pearl. That's what I call her. That's what she likes to be called. She's a very powerful woman, very, very wise in all things. So me and Pearl went to see Hitler, and because I had to go. I mean, I was a woman at the time. Sometimes I'm a man. Early on, I was a man. Then I was a woman. Then I was a man. Now I'm a woman. Well, quasi-woman. But it she had to accompany me into the beer hall. An unescorted woman in a place like that would cause an outrage. But anyway, we went in there, and I sat down and talked to Hitler. I told him I was the devil. He didn't believe me at first. Then he looked in my eyes, and he saw that I was the devil. You can see that, can't you? That I'm the devil. I'm Satan. Right. Now, in terms of performance, I'm thinking of a script. In terms of a performance, the Antichrist, that is the opposite of John, that's what I call John, Jesus of Nazareth. Well, anyway, I'm the opposite. I'm the antidote to his disease. He is a disease, really, deep down. Anybody knows that. It has an ounce of sense, objectivity, right? You have to understand that. He called himself God, which was a tremendous overstatement. He knows full well what he is. We're kin. He's also a Time Lord, member of the Blue Wolf tribe. But he's been ostracized because of his activities. In an unauthorized trip through time, he changed so many things as to create havoc. We call him the bad wolf. Yeah, John is the bad wolf. Anyway, John talks to me, or leaves messages for me, or sometimes actually directly talks to me in person. I saw him when I first came to Seattle. He wanted to touch me, then he thought, no, he better not. I didn't want him to touch me either. I feel kind of queasy about that. But anyway, John is the bad wolf. But today is December 8th, 2012. This morning, he left me a message saying I owed him one. And I do, because he gave me some vital information that has helped me prevent a great tragedy that would have had earth-shaking consequences. So I do owe you one, John. Just so you know, I'm aware. If you want to, collect on that debt, yeah, well, go ahead. Yeah. Maybe someday you'll owe me one. Think about that. Anyway, this is Operations Officer Windfall signing off. Time is approximately 4:55 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and I am in the woods. Yeah, I'm not feeling too good. My job is difficult. I'm a lonely creature. I'm unique in all the universe. I really am. Anyway, everybody knows it. My power is increasing almost exponentially. It's amazing. Things that were a problem for me before are less of a problem. Really, I don't know. According to the Holy Script, that is the text, I will have complete dominion in 2013. Complete dominion over this world and all worlds for a time.